Well, today I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking similar looking characters, and today is not even zigzag because I have been saying zigzag a lot lately. Okay, this one, 四. It's made of the 四 we met yesterday, and we just add something else to the left. And what that thing is, that was the ancient practice of worshipping. And the whole thing became worship. So yesterday we talked about 四 means fetus. And okay, after recording, I remember, okay, fetus in contemporary Chinese would be 胎儿. 胎 is the baby still in the womb. That's 胎儿. So 四 we don't use it as 胎儿frequently in our as frequent as a 胎儿 in our contemporary Chinese, but that was the original meaning of it. And now this character 四 is a lot more frequent in Chinese because on the left side here, once we add this structure, which actually 2,000 years ago's version get it even more clear, that we have this letter T, right? And there's one horizontal line on the top and two vertical lines on the sides. And of course, philosophers, literary people try to think about what these could be. I couldn't dig out the original version of it that I met during the One Word a Day preparation, that this was actually the okay, I guess I know what that is. It's the character means shaman or wizard in Chinese character, wu, which was two horizontal lines with one vertical line and then two figures dancing, opposing each other, face to face to each other. And I all of a sudden remember this character. Here, we only move the bottom row, horizontal line, to the top. But I can imagine this was an ancient practice, a shaman practice. I mean, today we call them shaman, just like Christians would call everything else as pagans. It's the otherness, simply because we don't live in that reality. We don't practice that anymore. So there's a little bit cultural to cultural judgment of this shaman, but that was the way in the past people used to do a dance form and probably verbalize something to try to negotiate with the space, the environment, the universe to give us favorable conditions, because survival in the past and today as well, we have new situations, new survival crisis that ever since the starting of humans, this self-preservation was a thing collectively. So I would imagine this practice was important, and throughout the world, throughout different cultures, different versions of it exist. And this is a Chinese version, and this is how Chinese express it. And the philosophers would philosophize as, okay, two vertical lines would be past, present, future, all right? Time, two horizontal lines would be the ground and heaven, so heaven and earth basically, would be the space. So we have time marker, space marker, kind of like human existence coordinate system, right? Space plus time. And then that would be the way to explain it, and also easy to memorize it. But I believe the shaman dance format eventually symbolized with this. So it's a kind of a totem pole even, right? And then two dancers, maybe not two, maybe a circle of dancers dance around it. We don't know because we only have this 2D frame, super simplification. So it's only left for imagination and interpretation. And okay, so that's the practice of worship. And when we add this fetus or snake-looking thing, right? So either fetus or snake-looking thing, this soft body imagery on the right side of it, I would imagine that's humans the beginning of human life, self-preservation, and also to show the worship of the origins of life, the beginning of life, when life starts as a fetus. So this is a kind of worship of ourselves, worship of life, worship of being alive. And this is the type of worship, because we have other types of worships. Some are more like heavenly, right? So kind of do sacrifice, have big piece of meat, like a lamb, or lots of fruit or something, or burn incense to try to communicate to the heavenly, to gain favor for survival. But over here, this one is more grounded. It's more about us, humans, our life, our beginning of life. We're worshiping that. And a few examples. 祭祀. So when 祭 and 祀 pair together, I have the responsibility to differentiate them, because 祭 is about worshiping toward the sky, the heaven. And the 祀 is more about the earth, about us, the earthlings. So you can see this is two-directional worshiping. And I mean, it's wonderful that through unpacking, I could see the Chinese culture already not only outward and kind of outer space or heaven, look up posture. Chinese also recognize here on the ground, right here within us, within the wombs of human woman. That's the beginning of life. We worship that as well. So it's good to see we have balanced view of worshiping. 祭天, 天 here is sky, and it generally points to the outer boundary of our existence. And to me, I interpret it as biosphere, either the sky, the blue sky, or the night sky. So that's where we exist. So we worship toward that. And 祭祖, ancestor. So Chinese is ancestor obsessed. A lot of times, the way to rationalize what kind of bold actions you're going to take, you're probably going to worship your ancestor and hope that the ancestor, through dream or through some mechanism to communicate with your dead past loved ones, you may or may not actually know. It could be ancestors several generations ago who probably were a high achiever in your family, and then more pronounced, and you try to worship that past figure in your family and ask for directions, ask for blessings, all that. So ancestry worshiping was a big thing. And of course, here is a common practice of what contemporary Westerners are worshiping. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a way to feel connected, to feel, when we feel small, we want to feel connected to something big.